first graders. It is Monday. It's good to be back. Diving right into Chapter 8 of Stick Dog Wants a Hot Dog. Chapter 8, Plummeting Clumsily. It was Karen. She stood on her back paws and put her front paws up on the door and pressed her nose to the screen, stretching it forward. You ever done that? Stretch the screen forward with your body or your nose? Yeah, don't do that. I used to do that when I was a kid, but now I fix screens at our house, so here she is doing that. Stick Dog saw her first. He ran out from between the bush and the house. He spoke urgently. "Get back! I think that human is about to come out. When he does, I'm going to slip this stick into the door. It won't close, and you can escape. Go hide again, fast!" By this time, Mutt, Stripes, and Poo Poo had emerged from the hiding spot too. They were all crowded around the door now. "I'm so glad you're safe," said Poo Poo. He was shaking with nervous energy. "Me too," said Mutt. "Did you find anything to eat in there?" asked Stripes. "Just crumbs," Karen answered casually. "I hid under the kitchen table when I heard him coming earlier. You know, back by the glass door." Stick Dog was curious. "Why are you so calm? Don't you want to get out of there?" "Oh yeah," answered Karen. "This guy's crazy. Did you see all that weird stuff he was doing?" "Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was exercising," Poo Poo said, and then he puckered his lips. Stick Dog tried to get them back on subject. He couldn't understand why Karen was not panicked. "So why are you so calm?" "Oh yeah, right," Karen answered. "This human's crazy, all right. I need to get out of here, but I'm pretty sure we have some time." He went downstairs, and it looks like he's going to be there for a while. "He's doing the strangest thing I've ever seen." "Stranger than exercising?" asked Stripes. Karen nodded. "He went down some steps and didn't come up. And he was making weird noises. So I went to have a look and went down a couple of steps and took a peek." "What did you see?" asked Mutt. "What was he doing?" Poo Poo asked. "What kind of crumbs were under the kitchen table?" asked Stripes. "Nothing very good. Crackers and stale bread, I think," Karen answered. Stick Dog shook his head a little. They had to get Karen out of there. And even if they did have more time to do so than he thought, it didn't change the fact he had quickly gone from pretty hungry to almost starving. His stomach was growling, almost constantly now. And he knew that darn raccoon, Phyllis, was probably getting closer and closer to that Frankfurter cart. Here is Karen eating crumbs. If you have dogs, they probably eat crumbs too, I bet. My dogs come in and clean up the crumbs from our kitchen island area. Honestly, it's not bad because we have to sweep less, but then it gets frustrating because if we leave them in the room while we eat, they'll just like stare at us. We tell them like go to bed in the living room, but then they'll be at the bed and they'll just be like looking at us. So a lot of times we put them downstairs when we eat, and then we let them come upstairs and get crumbs. So that's my crumb story with dogs. What's yours? Why? Do you think we have plenty of time? "He's doing this odd thing downstairs," said Karen. "He's running." "Running? Inside?" asked Stripes. "Running inside." "In a circle?" asked Mutt, tilting his head slightly. "Like when you chase your tail and don't catch it?" "I caught it once, on January 16th. Best day ever," Karen corrected. Can you see that? Yeah, okay. And then she said, "No, he's running in a straight line." "A straight line? He must be running face first into the wall over and over again," said wide-eyed Poo Poo. "I'm starting to like this human." Karen shook her head. No, he's on this machine that has its own floor." "Sort of. The floor goes around and around. But he runs but doesn't move." "What do you call that? You guys know?" If you said treadmill, you are correct. Stripes, Poo Poo, and Mutt all had confused expressions on their faces, trying to picture what Karen was describing. They turned towards Stick Dog to see if he could explain it. He usually could. He runs but doesn't go anywhere. On purpose, Stick Dog said, as much to himself as to the others. What kind of creature would do that? It's ridiculous. It was then that they felt a strong breeze. It flapped the sheets and clothes that were drawing on the line. And more important, it blew the aromas from the Frankfurter cart in their direction. Aromas are the smells, okay? They all lifted their noses and sniffed the meaty scent. One of my dogs does that when I cook. He'll just put his arrow, the black one, he'll put his head up as high as he can when I cook, and sometimes it kind of annoys me. Because I'm like, that's not for you, buddy. But yeah, definitely a dog thing to do. Okay, Stick Dog said. Who cares? This human likes to shove little things in his ears. He moves his bodies in strange ways, and he's running without going anywhere. It doesn't matter. He can be as strange as he wants to be. That's his business, not ours. Our business is getting Karen out of this house and then snatching those Frankfurters. With the help of the Frankfurter smells drifting past, it was easy for all of them to refocus on their mission. Now, if he's going to be coming through this door anytime soon, how are we going to get you out of there? Asked Stick Dog. There has to be a way. There is, said Karen. There's an open window there's a window open at the back of the house. I found it when I was looking around. I'm just going to hop out. Really? Stick Dog said, clearly surprised. Why didn't you hop out before? Well, I wanted to get all the crumbs I could, Karen admitted. And then I thought I heard you guys out here. I didn't want you to worry. There's really an open window, asked Stick Dog. Really? Well, how about that, said Stick Dog, smiling. Finally, an easy solution. No elaborate plans or sneaking around. Great. We'll meet you in the back then. Karen winked and pointed a paw at Stick Dog, pressing it against the screen. You betcha. Can you wink? I can't wink without making like a silly face, like the rest of my cheeks like just wrinkle up. It's really hard for me to just, I can't do it without moving the corner of my mouth. Oh, I could do it. I guess I can. I guess I need to practice my winking skills. How are your winking skills? They stalked away from the front door, careful to stay out of the view of Peter, the Frankfurter man. They scurried on their bellies to stay low and out of sight. They stopped once about halfway. Another breeze had lifted one of the sheets, and they paused to look at the Frankfurter cart and sniff all that meaty scent drifting on the wind. When they looked, however, they saw something else. Phyllis was now positioned in a sycamore tree, much closer to Peter in the cart. And that wasn't the worst of it. You want to see what the worst of it is? I'll show you the picture before I read it. See if you can spot it. Right? Now she had 3 other raccoons with her. There were a total of 4 puffy, ringed tails hanging out of the leaves of that big sycamore tree. They all noticed at once. Oh no, said Stripes. She's got help, said Mutt. She's assembled an entire Frankfurter assault squadron, Poo Poo explained. Shh, whispered Stick Dog. He didn't like the looks of this either, but the Frankfurters were no longer their top priority. We have to get Karen first. She should be back there by now. They scurried the rest of the way to the patio. Where's Karen? Asked Stick Dog, looking around when they arrived. I thought she'd be here by now. Here I am, Karen called. She was leaning out of a window on the 2nd floor of the house. I took one last look for crumbs. Sorry to keep you waiting. Clear out a spot for me. I don't want to land on anyone. And then she ducked back inside. Karen, no! Yelled Stick Dog. No! Don't jump! You see it? I'm going to bend the paper a little bit. There we go. She came back to the window and Stick Dog exhaled. Why not? Asked Karen calmly. You want me to check out the kitchen for scraps? I'm pretty sure there's nothing else in there. But I guess I might have missed something. Stick Dog dropped his head and looked at the ground for a minute. Then he came closer to the house. Then he came closer to Karen. He looked up at her from the lawn. You can't jump from that high up. You'll break every bone in your body. He sighed. When you said you found an open window and were going to jump out, I assumed it was on the first floor. Stripes came up to Stick Dog and then put a paw on his shoulder. You really shouldn't make assumptions, Stick Dog, she said. It can totally mess things up. It's like how I assumed you could fly a helicopter. That assumption messed up the whole plan. Otherwise, we'd be feasting on frankfurters by now. You should have learned from that. Stick Dog gently removed Stripes' paw from his shoulder. You're right, Stick Dog whispered. I'll try to keep that in mind, Stripes. Thanks. Glad to help, Stripes replied. Stick Dog looked at Karen high up in the second floor window. Stay there, he said. I'll be right back. Okay, Karen yelled. You guys stay here too, he said to Mutt, Stripes, and Poo Poo. In a quieter voice that they could only hear, he said, Don't let her jump. This will take just a minute. Stick Dog ran to the corner of the house and slowly leaned his head to look at Peter, the Frankfurter man. Come on, Stick Dog whispered. Do something. He did. Peter turned around, leaned down, and began to tie his shoe. Speaking of shoes, if you don't know how to tie your shoes by now, keep practicing before second grade. Practice. Practice, practice, practice. Stick Dog's eyes opened wide. I don't believe it, he said. He ran as fast as he could to the laundry line and ripped down one of the two sheets drying there. Without even glancing back, he raced back to the corner of the house, with the sheet clenched in his jaws. Once he turned the corner, he stopped and dragged the sheet the rest of the way behind the house. He took one look at Peter and smiled. Here he is with the sheet. Peter was just now standing back up from tying his shoe. Stick Dog took the sheet to the lawn beneath the window. Help me spread this out, he said. They all worked to spread the sheet out while Karen watched from above. This is what Karen sees from her point of view. Okay, Stick Dog said, and he began to explain. We're each going to clench one corner of the sheet with our mouths. We're going to pull it real tight. And then, when I signal Karen, she's going to jump and land in the middle. It should cushion her fall just enough. But it might hurt our mouths and teeth a little when she lands. Stripes, Mutt, and Poo Poo didn't say a word. They simply leaned down, bit into the sheet, and lifted it. Did you all hear that, Karen? He called up. She nodded. When I nod, you jump, Stick Dog said. Try to hit the middle. She nodded again. And Stick Dog picked up his corner of the sheet. Okay, we have to stop here for a minute. I'm sorry. I know it's kind of an important part of the story, but I need to make something clear here. You know, not to go jumping out of windows, right? I mean, I don't have to say that, right? It's dangerous. Even if you have 4 friends holding a sheet real tight under the window, you're way too heavy for the sheet to stop you. Heck, I doubt it would even slow you down. So no jumping out of windows, okay? Good. Now we can go back. That's the author speaking. With clear determination on his face, in his eyes, Stick Dog looked in succession at Mutt, Poo Poo, and Stripes. Each of them had a solid grip on the sheet and were scooting backward to pull it tight. When it was as taut as it could be, Stick Dog raised his eyes to Karen. He nodded his head. And Karen jumped. Do you know what the word majestic means? It means awe-inspiring. The Grand Canyon or in Niagara Falls would be considered majestic, for instance. The Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco is considered a majestic work of architecture. When referring to movement, it means really beautiful and graceful. An eagle soaring through the sky is majestic. Mr. Bernstein, taking a sip of coffee, is majestic. Not really, I did that. When Karen jumped out from that window, she was not majestic. There was nothing beautiful or graceful about it. First, she caught one of her back paws on the windowsill, which made her start tumbling immediately. And she wasn't quite falling. That sounds like what would happen if I tried to jump out of a window. I'd probably catch my foot and start flipping. And she wasn't quite falling. It was more like plummeting. In fact, I think the best way to describe her descent would be this. She plummeted clumsily. But here's something really important. While her fall was not majestic, her aim was perfect. She landed on her back right in the middle of that sheet. It looks funny. Stick Dog, Stripes, Mutt, and Poo Poo clenched the material with all their strength. You imagine holding onto a sheet with your teeth to catch somebody? Woo, you gotta have some good chompers. They braced themselves with their front legs as hard as they could, but they were still pulled inward with Karen's impact on the sheet. It sagged rapidly with her weight, and everyone pulled as hard as they could. The sheet brushed against the green blades of the grass beneath, and then rose again, bouncing Karen safely to the side, where she landed right side up on the patio. Then she bowed. "Thanks, everybody," she said, as the other four dropped the sheet and stretched their mouths and jaws. Like that. That's gotta hurt. Then she sniffed at the air, and Stripes, Poo Poo, and Mutt did too. Karen said, "Those Frankfurters smell delicious, don't they?" Stick Dog smiled and said, "Let's go get them." And that brings us to Chapter 9, Stackifying. I'm going to save Chapter 9 for tomorrow. I know. You might be wanting me to finish this, but I'm saving it for tomorrow. And that will actually conclude Stick Dog Wants a Hot Dog. So Wednesday, we will be starting a new book. Yeah. How was your weekend? Was it good? Did you have fun? Did you do something for your mom? For Mother's Day? Or maybe another family member? If your mom's not living with you? What did you do? Let's see, what did I do? Oh, my stepdaughter, Alyssa, her birthday is May 13th, which is Wednesday, when I start a new book. She will be 17, but we celebrated her birthday on Saturday with Mother's Day because we had some family over. We all hung out in the backyard, had our chairs all spread out, and we had Chinese food, homemade Chinese food. We bought some soba noodles, which is just, if you don't know what soba noodles are, they're like kind of like Chinese noodles. They're kind of thick. They're really good if you like noodles. They're thick and long. You add teriyaki sauce or any sort of sauce that would go with them. We had like vegetables and meat with egg rolls, wontons. It was really good. If you like Chinese food, it was pretty awesome. Even my little younger ones that aren't really into a lot of Chinese food, they really liked it. They liked the noodles. So we did that. We celebrated Mother's Day. My mom and my wife's mom, my mother-in-law, and my sister-in-law, my wife's sister, we all hung out and celebrated birthday / Mother's Day in the backyard. It was a beautiful day. It's cool because I was able to open up my big gate so people just walk on down with all their stuff, and we just hung out outside. It was nice. And then the dogs, they got more than just crumbs when we were done eating. I tell you what, there were some chunks that they got. I found out, though, that they don't like broccoli, so they wouldn't pick up the broccoli, so I had to pick up that on my own. Let's see. What else did I do this weekend? I did something. Having a moment where I can't remember exactly what I did. What did I do? Oh, gosh, I did a ton of cleaning. Cleaned the house, did like a serious mop job where like hardcore mopping, cleaning everything. It happens like every other month or so where it's like I do a really, really good job. Not just like an okay job, but like every single spot. That took a while. Yeah. I feel like I'm missing something. What did I do? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Weird. I barbecued last night. We had some burgers. That was awesome. Yeah, we have a Zoom meeting this Thursday, same time, 7 o'clock. Hope to see you there. Let's see. Hopefully you've already picked up your packets. If you haven't, let me know, and we'll find a time for you to pick those up. Yeah. Have a good day. Sorry, I feel like I'm rambling. But yeah, I hope you have a good Monday, and I will see you tomorrow for the last chapter of Stick Dog Wants a Hot Dog.